Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are in a little city known as Lexington, Kentucky, and several problems. First off, we ended up finishing up our little tour of a bunch of haunted locations. I was with Jazz, Chris, and Ben, as you guys obviously are seeing from the main channel videos. So we're done with that. The boys have gone home. Now I'm basically on my own. I want to do some sightseeing, check out a bunch of like cool stuff for you, and obviously myself as well, just because I'm keen on things like, you know, history and culture, and I want to be able to experience that as well in many different places. So, being here in Lexington, Kentucky, first of all, as I was about to leave the hotel, I noticed something on my phone, and then I ended up clicking it. We got tornado watch. So apparently there is a tornado watch somewhere in the center of Louisville, Lexington, Nashville, Bowling Green, Knoxville. So we might actually see a freaking tornado today. Last thing I expected. And it's kind of funny how things like seem to follow me, because when we were in Taiwan, we experienced a 6.1 magnitude earthquake. When we were in Indonesia, a volcano erupted, and now we have a tornado watch. Another problem with Lexington, Kentucky, everything is closed. Apparently everything just closes on Sundays. And it's funny because it's Memorial Day weekend, so you know people are traveling, so you would expect tourists to show up in little, you know, historic spots like this. And yeah, but we're gonna go around and see what it is that we can. The other cool thing in this area is there are a lot of bourbon distilleries. I actually bought a bunch for myself as well. They're all basically just things that we cannot get back home in Canada. So you come to Kentucky, there's no way you can't buy bourbon. So anyways, I figured the first thing might as well check out is the Mary Todd Lincoln House. Funny enough, I didn't process what that was until I got here, and I'm like, Mary Todd Lincoln, who was that and why is she important? Duh, I'm guessing Mary Todd Lincoln was actually Abraham Lincoln's wife, as she was. So yeah, here apparently is her house. So we got this house here built in 1806 as an inn, became a home of politician and businessman Robert S. Todd in 1832. Mary Todd, his daughter, born in Lexington on December 13, 1818, moved to Illinois in 1839. There she met and married Abraham Lincoln. They visited here in fall of 1847. Todds moved away after Mr. Todd died in 1849. Cool house. Honestly, this would have been amazing to see what it looked like on the inside. Let's see what the sign says. Yeah, so apparently they're not open on Sundays at all. I'm trying to like figure out what else there is to actually do. There is one historic property that should be open, but there is also a cemetery, so I'm kind of thinking maybe we go down to the cemetery first, because it is historic. It's got a lot of little spots in there, monuments, and history, which I just want to see. I just want to know a little bit more about Kentucky. I've only ever really spent time in Louisville, and that was about it. I'd never had a chance to really come out here to Lexington, and it sucks because everything is pretty much closed, and there's a lot to see here. Like I was looking at the listings on Google, and there's like tons of little attractions, things to see, but with everything being closed, it's kind of unfortunate. So after this, I am heading to Nashville, Tennessee, which I'm really excited about because we're going to spend 3 nights there. I want to experience more of the culture there. Last time I was there, I think was like, I don't even remember, December, November of 2022, I think. And it was fun, but the only problem was it was so cold, which made it difficult to enjoy as much as I probably could have. Let's take a look at the backyard. At least we could like look at the house. It's definitely a good sized house though. Beautiful little backyard here. So that's cool. But yeah, I guess we'll get a move on. I wouldn't mind also going somewhere where I can at least have some bourbon, apart from, you know, the ones that I bought, which I don't think I'm going to open until I get home. I kind of want to share it with some people when I get back to Canada. But yeah, let's go and check out the cemetery and see what that's all about. Alright, well I made it into the cemetery here. There's a lot of monuments. Check this out. John Campbell Breckinridge. Must have been important. He's got an entire statue. There's like another monument down there. There's actually a very interesting one back there, which we'll get to in a moment. There's quite a bit of history behind the person that it was for. This one's broken. It's like a piece of it on the ground. Damn. Wow. Yeah, there's just something about cemeteries in the south. I mean, we're not really like in the deep south yet. I am aiming to go to Alabama. I'm hoping that we'll make it there. There's actually a cool haunted spot that I've always wanted to check out. I don't even know if it's still accessible, still there, but we're gonna damn well try. But there is a monument for a Henry Clay, who was a politician. Kind of had some, like, I don't know, milk toast fence sitter type of views when it came to slavery. He had slaves from when he was a child, which he inherited, and then later on was talking about abolition and emancipation and stuff like that. But it kind of seemed like he's like, yeah, I want to end slavery, but at the same time he wouldn't give up his own slaves. So kind of an interesting outlook, I guess you can say. But let's go over towards that monument, because this is obviously the older area of the cemetery itself, and everything just looks really cool and really creepy in the middle of the day. Still hoping there's no tornadoes though, because yeah, that would suck. I don't even know where the hell I would go, but if it's showing that it's more south, kind of in the middle of nowhere, then I think we should be okay. So I think that's the monument for Henry Clay, but take a look at this. Tons of old headstones. There's another monument down there. Massive old trees. I mean, that one's not so massive, but... Alright, let's take a look at this. This thing is huge. What the hell? So this dude was a politician, you know, Congress, House of Representatives, and I guess he was very popular considering they built this massive thing here. 1787, 1987, Arborist Association and International Society of Arboriculture jointly recognized the significant tree in this bicentennial year as having lived here at the time of the signing of our Constitution. Oh, that's cool. It's got a huge, like, broken part in there. So where's the front of this thing? Whoa, this is cool. Really creepy at the same time. Oh, we can actually see inside. Whoa. Damn, dude. I mean, it's kind of dark in there, but still. Let's see if we can get to the other side. It's kind of hard to see from the other angles, but man, is that thing really tall. I can't seem to figure out where the front is, or maybe that was the front. I have no idea. Let's go around this way. Oh, okay, I think this might be the front here. Oh yeah, here we go. Henry Clay. Henry Clay, born in Virginia in 1777, came to Lexington at the age of 20. Whoa! Damn, you scared the crap out of me, bird. Successful law practice in 1799, married Lucretta Hart, daughter of one of the city's most prominent family. Let me zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. He served 6 years in the Kentucky House of Representatives, part of that time as a speaker, and filled 2 unexpired terms in the United States Senate before being elected to the U.S. House in 1811. There he was speaker until 1814, and again from 1815 to 1820. Yeah, so you had a lot of ending the War of 1812 from 1825 to 1829. He was the Secretary of State under President John Quincy Adams, and from 1831 to 1842 and 1849 to 1852 was a U.S. Senator. Throughout his long career, Clay was famed as one of America's greatest statesmen and orators, and he was a candidate for the President of the United States, obviously multiple times. After his death in Washington in 1852, his remains were brought to Lexington for burial as he had instructed. The Clay Monument Association... Whoa, I just noticed that we can see the... Is that the casket? That's not the casket, but it's like the top part. Whoa. Dude, that is crazy. There's that thing back there as well. It really is just kind of creepy looking at that. Wow. Damn. Is it just him? Like, just the one? There's another one right there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's clearly a second one back there. I don't know who that is. I don't know. I'm kind of looking to see if there's, like, any more people buried in the same thing, but I don't think so. But just so you guys can get, like, an idea of how large this thing is. Wow. Yeah, that's the Henry Clay Monument. There's a bunch more down here. There's one really tall one. This must be somebody important as well. Let's get closer to it and see what that's all about. But look at all these, like, little statues here. That's amazing. They're so old. We've got Roberts. This one I can't even read. Died in 1869, the 51st year of his age. Wow. That's beautiful, though. There's more down there, too. I have to say, it's really peaceful here. The sound of the birds chirping. It's finally warm here as well. Last you guys saw me on the vlogs was in Thailand, where it was like 34 degrees Celsius every single day, which is like, what, 95 Fahrenheit approximately? But it always feels like 110 because it's so damn hot because you're so close to the equator. But here is nice. It's not super hot yet. It was very hot a few days ago, but it's kind of cooled down. It is raining. Oh, okay. Now I get why there's a big monument here. So this is the rest of the Clay family is actually buried right here. Wow. But yeah, it is cooled down. It's been raining a little bit off and on. But yeah, it's wonderful. There you go. Eliza H. Clay, daughter of Henry and Lucretia Clay. John Clay and Josephine, his wife. I wonder if, like, maybe he was someone who was quite popular as well. But what a beautiful little area. So I guess this is private. It says no trespassing, so you can't go there. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. I'm assuming they're probably all from the Clay family. But beautiful little cemetery. I'm gonna see if there is anything else. I might actually drive around, see if there's any other interesting spots. I think there is one more notable person here. But yeah, sometimes when you come to cemeteries like this, you learn a lot about history and, you know, things that happened in this certain area. Like before this, I never would have known who the hell Henry Clay was and how notable he was in history. Obviously that, you know, sometimes the history could be a little wishy-washy. I was just reading whatever I read off of Wikipedia, which is not even always right. So always do your fact checking, of course, but that's just kind of what I was learning briefly about this Henry Clay person. Also, something just went in my eye. Ow. Ugh, damn it, I hate when that happens. Okay, so I just figured out what that Breckenridge one was that we first saw. I think that was the one that we first saw. He was actually the vice president of the United States up until 1860. He was actually noted as the youngest vice president, I believe, in history, is what it said. So let's go back to that one. Where the heck was it? I was also wondering, like, where the heck's my car? And then I finally found it. So now it actually makes sense as to why he's got this very notable statue here. I'm actually going to take a little peek down here, see if there's anything else of interest, and then basically just kind of move on. I do got to get something to eat because I am starving right now. I'm not going to lie, this little trip has kind of pooped me out. So basically what I ended up having to do, because I was in Thailand, booked kind of a last minute 24-hour trip just to get back to Toronto, and then basically a day and a half later I hit the road and I came down here. One of the first stops was in Kentucky, met up with the boys. We filmed the Octagon Hall Museum. I think I was one of the only ones that actually filmed it out of the group, just because we weren't getting like a whole lot. But in my video, we ended up getting something freaking crazy. So I am going to be able to post a really good video for it. So that'll be very interesting. But yeah, dude, we've been literally on the road so much, doing tons of driving, late night filming, often until 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. Then we'll get back to, you know, either our Airbnb or hotel or wherever we ended up staying. And only like functioned on about 4, maximum 5 hours of sleep every single night for like 4 to 5 days straight. So we are freaking exhausted. I am exhausted, and I can only imagine for the boys, because they had about an 8 to 9 hour drive just to get back home. But there is another section of the cemetery here. It's quite beautiful. Look at this. These must be pretty old too. Oh yeah, look at that. All late 1800s it looks like. We got Scott. There's more on that side. Oh, look at that thing. That is cool. What? I gotta go check that out. Problem with cemeteries sometimes, especially down here, is they're so beautiful that like you could literally spend just about all day. Nothing's really beaten the Bonaventure Cemetery to date, and for me, I just like them. I think there's just something about cemeteries. They're peaceful. At nighttime they're super scary, but during the day they're nice and peaceful, and very just like the way everything is designed. Like, check this out. Like, look at this thing. That is crazy. It's so mossy. Oh, there's like a little statue inside. Oh, that is so cool. It looks so old you can't even make out what the heck it says anymore. It says pain. Wow. Now that's amazing. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like people have brought stuff here. Oh yeah, look at that. Got some coins, seashells. There's a little candle over there. Absolutely beautiful. Looks like all the rest of the Payne family is here as well. There's one more here. I guess we'll check that out and then basically hit the road. Oh, might see what else Lexington has to offer. At least what's open. This is cool too. Man, these are so freaking old. It's unbelievable. Our father and mother, John Wesley Hunt. I wonder if they were notable too. Their children sleep around. Oh, okay. So all their children are, I'm guessing, all these ones. Wow, they had a lot of kids if that's the case. Wow. Okay, that was really weird. I looked this way, and I swear I saw something moving at the corner of my eye, and I thought it was a person. Like, I thought there was a person legit walking through here. But there's no one in this section. There's like one person, I think, down there. There's another person like down there somewhere. I don't know what the heck I just saw. But okay. I'm gonna get back to the car. This was really cool, but honestly I cannot spend the entire day here. Got other things I want to go and see and do. And of course I really need to eat because I feel like my energy is already kind of depleting, so definitely got to do that. So the air is kind of weird here. There's still like a breeze coming through. It's very, very cloudy. I do know that it was showing rain today, but there is still a tornado watch, so let's just keep an eye out for what might happen. That might be freaking crazy. Apparently we're going to turn into storm chasers today out in Kentucky. Not exactly what I planned, but I do know that Chris experienced one recently when he was at this haunted location, which is kind of crazy because it was like very abandoned and very much falling apart, which is kind of scary because there's really no place to get too much cover. And they were showing me the videos. It was him and Beyond the Shadows, and that looked freaking intense. I don't know if he's going to share that video with you guys, but holy moly. But did find a neat looking restaurant here called the Goose Lexington. They have some very interesting food, so let's go in and check it out. Let's take a look at the menu first. There was something that caught my eye, but I'm not sure if it's here. They got sandwiches, burgers, pizzas, which I don't want any of that, so I'm hoping they have other entrees. So, yeah, that restaurant was not bad. Unfortunately, they did not have the entree that I really wanted to get, which was the chops with bourbon and apple slices. I thought that sounded the most intriguing. Unfortunately, it was literally just carb options, which I really didn't want because I'm trying to stay away from carbs. But I did have a Kentucky cheesesteak, and it was pretty good. It was like sliced sirloin, you know, green peppers, onions, and I think what really made the difference was the beer cheese. That was very tasty. And then I also had a Hefeweizen. I don't even remember what the name was, but not bad. But we're kind of running a little low on time. The weather is currently slowing me down, so I'm aiming to leave by about 3. It is currently 1:30. I'm actually outside of this extremely unique looking coffee shop. I've never seen anything like this. And the one thing that I'm noticing is things here are very colorful. There's a lot of murals everywhere, which is kind of nice to see. It adds a lot of character to the city. But check this out. So I am still sitting in the car, but this is literally what we're looking at. I'm gonna go in and grab a coffee, but it's just like all designed. It's kind of cool, actually. They have this sign here. Over the years, try them hot or cold. Frederick Douglass, Angela Davis, Sojourner Truth, and Beyonce, apparently. So I'm gonna head on in there and see what this coffee is all about. Hopefully it's good. I did want to visit one more place. It should be open by now. It said it was open at 1 o'clock. I believe it's called the Ashland Estates, which is like supposed to be the #1 thing to see in Lexington, Kentucky. And then after that, I'm pretty much going to hit the road. I'm kind of disappointed just because everything is essentially closed on Sundays, which kind of sucks. Let me stop these wipers because it's kind of annoying. But there's definitely a lot to see here, so I do want to come back. If it wasn't like raining, kind of a, you know, bummer at this point, I probably would have stuck around a little longer. Not only that, but I got about a 3.5-hour drive to Nashville, which I'm really excited to go back to because it's been a little while. But let's go inside and get some coffee. This is freaking cool. Man. Wow. That place was overwhelming. It was like the entire inside was just one giant woke protest. Anyway, let's give them the benefit of a doubt and hope that they have some good coffee. I'm not even going to name what the place was. It's okay. It's not bad. Maybe marginally better than Starbucks, which maybe for some people is a win. But to me, Starbucks is not that good. So I'm going to go and spin by the place that I was talking about, which I believe was called the Ashland Estate. Let's see if we can at least check it out. Hopefully. Oh, so Ashland was actually the Henry Clay Estate. So that kind of ties in to where we just were. The interesting thing is that if Ashland is also considered to be haunted. That could be pretty interesting. Maybe we can book it on the way back and actually film the place. But I'm going to spin over there, see if it's good. I don't know. It kind of seems like the weather is not going to be cooperating too much today.
Southeast toward North Limestone.
And we got a long drive to Nashville still. So let's go over there first and see what this place is all about.
May be affected by severe thunderstorm.
Of course it might be affected by severe thunderstorm. Okay, we have made it to the Ashland estate, which is Henry Clay's home. Looks pretty cool from the outside. I don't know if I'm gonna go in because I think it might just take too long. But the grounds are beautiful here. Oh, look at that. Apparently there's a connection between Abraham Lincoln and Henry Clay. So that is the outhouse. You could at least take a look around. Because apparently the tour doesn't start for like another half an hour, which means I'm going to kill another hour, and then I'm just going to end up being really late. Whoa, it's really dark in there. Damn. There's like a little ball in there. What the hell? So I might as well start here. Henry Clay's carriage house. Damn, those winds were pretty crazy earlier. Look at this. Everything's been blown over. Whoa. Cool. I don't know if you guys can see this very well, but there's a carriage in there. There's like a plate right there. I don't know if you can even read that, but it's the best I can do. So there's the actual house. I'd like to go in and check it out, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit pricey. And I'd have to do the tour. I'd rather just do it on my own. That's kind of like the main thing that's deterring me from doing it, but it's a gorgeous home. Price is a little steep. They wanted like 25, which in spots kind of like this, I find not unusual, so to say, but there are places that, you know, are free. A lot of museums are free across America, but some are like, you know, $5, $10, which I think is more reasonable. I think $25 is a little bit cheap. Sorry, not cheap, a little bit expensive. Especially I do think that, you know, this is important American history, and I think it should be a little bit more affordable to everybody, but is what it is, I guess. I'm not the one who makes up the prices. But the house itself is absolutely gorgeous. Can't really see too much inside. Actually, let me go up to this window and see if we can peek in. It's a little hard to see. Yeah, we can't see anything. That sucks. So unfortunately we can't see anything on the inside, but there are gardens. We'll I guess take a quick little peek at that. This area is so quiet. It seems like everywhere I'm going, I don't know if it's just because it's Sunday and, like, you know, most people are home, off. It's also a long weekend, of course, Memorial Day weekend. But yeah, it's like a little ghost town. Like, nothing is going on. So these are actually kind of cool now that I was reading these. This is ice houses, so they actually used to store ice and dairy, I guess, in the other one at one point in time. That's kind of interesting how they used to do that back in the day. Now we just have fridges and freezers. So as I'm reading more and more about the history, the connection between Abraham and Henry Clay, they weren't particularly friends of each other. Like, they didn't really know each other. But it sounds like Lincoln really liked him. So I think what he really liked the idea of was his idea of emancipation and, you know, obviously getting rid of slavery, because we know obviously Abraham Lincoln fought against slavery, hence the main reason of the Civil War was fighting against slavery and ending that. So it is pretty fascinating because, like we were reading before about Henry Clay, is that he was technically an abolitionist and wanted to end it. His ideas kind of seemed a little wonky, but, you know, it was a very, very different time where people were kind of fighting the idea as something that was so prominent around the world at the time, right? And new ideas were emerging, and they were trying to kind of figure out the difference between right and wrong, and eventually they did figure it out. This is pretty cool. This is the gardens. Quite nice. Apparently Henry Clay's wife, I believe her name was Lucretia, very much loved her gardens. and had them tended to quite often. Very cool. Oh, look at these flowers. Those are cool. There's just, you know, something about flowers. It just adds so much happiness to the world. Got a beautiful little statue of a baby here with the birds. That's nice. Wow. I just imagine this house has been here, or this property's been here for a couple hundred years already. What's amazing for me is coming from places like Japan, where their history spans like, you know, well over 1,000 years. Some of the temples I went to visit were minimum like, you know, 400 years, and that was considered like a young temple or area. And then you come to places in America and Canada, and the history is not even close to as old as that. But it's so different, like the different places around the world. I want to do a lot more traveling this year and next year as well, and document a lot more places. I'm just trying to think of like where to go. So you guys suggest down below what other places would be interesting to go to, maybe different countries, different states in America, different places in Canada, whatever. It could be literally anywhere. If you guys have an idea of where you want me to go, let me know down in the comments below. In the meanwhile, this was nice and all, but I think I gotta head on out because it is 2:15. To be honest, I was kind of planning on being out of here, but of course I had to make a bunch of pit stops, and still got that 3.5 hour drive, so I'm aiming to make it by at least like 6 o'clock. I kind of wanted to stay for the tour, but at the same time, honestly, if it's like a group of people and a guided tour, I kind of want to do it, but I also don't want to do it at the same time because it's going to be kind of a pain in the ass trying to even film it. But let's hop in the car, let's hit the road, let's go over to Nashville. I do think eventually, if I ever come through Kentucky again, which I probably will, I'll come to Lexington and I'll stay if it's a weekday when everything is open and we can actually go and check out more things, because I really want to come back, mainly because this is like the horse capital of the world, you know, where they kind of like breed race horses and stuff like that. So that would be kind of fascinating. But not only that is the Bourbon Trail. A lot of the very, very well-known and famous bourbon distilleries are here, and I would love to go and be able to check out like at least 2 of them. I think would be so fascinating to document that, and also just to see it with my own eyes because I've never seen it. I like bourbon, it's good, so why not? But yeah, let's head on out of here in the meanwhile. So I just stopped for gas. I was talking with a friend of mine who messaged me, and he told me that apparently the weather in Tennessee is really bad. I don't know if he was saying that a tornado touched down. I have no information on that yet. I'm going to actually ask him if that's what happened. But, I mean, the weather here was pretty nasty. There was a lot of wind, a lot of rain, very, very quickly, and then it ended within a half an hour. But it's looking very, very cloudy, and the direction that I'm heading towards in Nashville is not looking that great. But I'm going to keep my cameras handy because we may encounter a tornado. Apparently, we're turning into storm chasers today. So, but one thing I've always wanted to see realistically is a tornado. And obviously from a distance, but I've never had the opportunity to actually see a physical tornado. I've seen like funnel clouds forming, like even back home in Canada, it does happen. The weather can just kind of do weird things sometimes. We've all seen the movie Twister, although highly unrealistic, but when there is a massive tornado, shit gets pretty crazy. So yeah, let's continue on our way towards Nashville and see if we can catch a tornado on camera or something. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I will definitely keep you guys updated. Okay, so just left Lexington, Kentucky, kind of out in farmland area, and it looks like the weather is getting worse. This is what we're currently dealing with. It's not too bad. Oh wait, spoke too soon. Okay, this is gonna suck, but we got 3 hours and 5 minutes to Nashville. I have never seen this happen before. It keeps coming up on Google telling me
In a quarter mile, use the right lane to take the Bluegrass Parkway ramp to Lawrenceburg, Elizabethtown.
So it keeps telling me that there is severe thunder warnings which may affect your route. And I'm like, dude, I've driven through bad storms with Google on before. Never had that happen. I don't know if it just does that over here.
Right lane to take the Bluegrass Parkway route.
But we could very well experience tornadoes. So we are officially storm chasers for the day. I'm gonna stop somewhere at some point and look up, just so that way I can like figure out where these tornado watch warnings are exactly if we happen to be passing through. But there are some spots where I'm seeing some of the clouds look like they're funneling a bit, so
continue on to Kentucky 9002 West Bluegrass Parkway.
but we still got a little bit to go before we get to Tennessee regardless. The tornado watch was here earlier and then it moved on to Tennessee, but like I said, it actually looks like it's closer to Nashville, which is straight where I'm heading right now. But yeah, we gotta definitely keep an eye out. I gotta watch for warnings on my phone. This could get a little scary as well. This is not a joke. So the rain has stopped. I've been constantly looking up into the sky to see if I can see anything, and I don't see anything. It's kind of cleared up here. It looks much darker ahead of me. But I looked it up, and apparently there was a very big storm. I don't know if a tornado actually touched down or not, because it was unclear, and I wasn't able to read the whole article. But it sounds like west of Bowling Green got hit pretty badly, and then when I checked on Google Maps, it looks like an entire highway is completely shut down, because you can see the little stop sign things on Google Maps. So that's kind of crazy. There is still a tornado watch, so I am keeping an eye out, and it is getting extremely windy where I am. Like the car is literally just all over the place. So we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. I swear to God, if I see like a cow fly through the sky. Oh my God. So I've been driving for a while. The weather keeps shifting everywhere I go. Still no tornadoes as of yet, but there is still a tornado watch in central Tennessee, and this keeps adding more and more time. Originally I think I was supposed to get there at 5 p.m. Now it's saying 5:20, so I don't know what's going on. It looks like there's most likely just an accident, but because of all the storms, there could be debris on one of the highways or roads. Maybe something's closed. I don't know yet. I have no idea until I get closer to Nashville, which is where it looks like there's a lot of traffic all of a sudden. But we'll see. Hopefully no tornadoes. Although, like I said, it would be kind of interesting to see one like way off in the distance. So. But I'm not going to hold my breath at the same time.